Okay.
Miss Janiyah said hi to the kids. I said hello to Mortimer and all the dogs. "It is exciting, is it not?" Mortimer said in his French accent. "Perhaps we shall become the big stars tonight." "Perhaps," I said, lying down beside him. "But something tells me this is going to be a long night." The city council had a lot of work to do. There was a call to order, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance, roll call, and reports from the mayor, city attorney, and city clerk. I thought Mrs. Crutch's law would be the first thing they discussed, but they talked about parking tickets, traffic signs, and building permits. Boring. By the time Mrs. Crutch finally began describing her anti-pit bull bill, I was half asleep. "Wake up, my friend," said Mortimer, nudging me with his nose. "Mrs. Crutch, she is talking." Mrs. Crutch talked for a long time about the dangers of owning pit bulls. He showed pictures of people with dog bites and talked about how pit bulls cannot be trusted. When she was finished, people all around us were muttering and sounding upset. Then it was Miss Janiyah's turn. Miss Janiyah stood up in her overalls and work boots, put her hands in her pockets, and smiled. "My name is Miss Janiyah, and I was a teacher in this town for more than 30 years. Now I own a small dog training school called Quilting, where I teach people and dogs how to live happily together. But would it surprise you to learn that most people need more training than their dogs?" Everyone in the room laughed, and I could feel some of the tension leaving. "Good, good, good."
Good, good.
I woofed. "Miss Janiyah is doing good." "The reason is simple," Miss Janiyah continued. "People are complicated. Dogs are not. How many of you have or know a dog? Raise your hand, please."
You raise?
Almost every hand was raised, including Mrs. Crutch's. "Can some of you describe your dogs?" "Playful," shouted one man. "Loving," said another. "Energetic," said a third. Now the words started coming fast. Mischievous, silly, eager to please, beggar, friendly, lazy, bed hog, hyper, spoiled, naughty, goofball, lapdog, strong, big, baby, fruity, bull in a china shop, loud, protective, funny, snuggle bunny, chow hound. The list got longer and longer until Miss Janiyah said, "Okay, thank you." How many of you heard anything really negative said about dogs? No one raised their hand, and the room was very quiet. That's because dogs are basically good. They love people. They want to please, and if we teach them what we want, they'll do it. How many of you can say that about other people? Everyone laughed again, but Mrs. Crutch stopped them. "That doesn't change the fact that pit bulls are dangerous," she said loudly. "Oh, but it does," said Miss Janiyah. "Pit bulls are dogs. The only way a pit bull or any other dog becomes dangerous is if a person teaches it to be." "I know from personal experience that pit bulls are dangerous," said Mrs. Crutch. "A pit bull bit my brother." "I'm sorry you had a bad experience with one dog," Miss Janiyah said. "But imagine how you'd feel if you were asked to leave town because someone in your family did something wrong." "We're talking about the safety of our children," Mrs. Crutch said. "I think we're talking about fear," said Miss Janiyah. "In my Quilting kids class, we call fear the emotional flu. With your permission, Mayor Cummings, I'd like the kids from my class to show you their cure for fear." "This doesn't have anything to do with my bill," Mrs. Crutch protested, but the mayor interrupted her. "It has everything to do with it, Dorothea. Please sit down," he said. "Go on, Miss Janiyah." Miss Janiyah turned to the kids. "Let's do it, guys." She grinned. The kids gathered our leashes and led us up onto the stage in front of the city council. When we were all lined up in a row, Miss Janiyah nodded to Mackenzie. Mackenzie stepped forward with Mortimer beside her. "My name is Mackenzie, and this is Mortimer. We're in Miss Janiyah's Quilting class. We study a lot of things about dogs. For example, body language and healthcare. But the most important thing we learned were the 3 R's. Mackenzie stepped back into line, and Miss Janiyah nodded at Danny. My name is Danny, and this is my dog, Scooter. Ms. Janiyah called him a problem child because he barked and jumped on people. Scooter needed to learn the first R, respect. But I needed to learn the second R, repeat. Danny stepped back into line, and Ms. Janiyah nodded at Kimmy. My name is Kimmy, and this is Lucky. Lucky's a good dog, but he's kind of like Scooter. He forgets things a lot. I have to be patient and use the second R, repeat, so he won't forget. Teaching Lucky taught me to be patient with people, too. He's a good teacher. Kimmy stepped back in line, and Ms. Janiyah nodded at Brendan. My name is Brendan, and this is Baby Girl. My family adopted her from the shelter. She was scared of everything, so we brought her to Quilting class. Ms. Janiyah taught us the third R, reward. We started rewarding Baby Girl for taking baby steps. That means trying new things even if you're scared. It's a good lesson for everybody. Brendan stepped back in line, and Ms. Janiyah nodded at Paul. My name is Paul, and this is my dog, Hipster. Even though Hipster looks big and scary, we call him the gentle giant. If you rub his belly or you scratch his back, he groans. Want to see? Paul bent down and rubbed Hipster's back. Hipster immediately closed his eyes and started making happy sounds deep in his throat. Oh! Everybody laughed. Hipster taught me never judge a book by its cover. Paul stepped back in line, and Ms. Janiyah nodded at Rennie. Rennie and I stepped forward, and I sat down on her right side. My name is Rennie, said Rennie in a small, unsteady voice. I could feel how scared she was and gently nuzzled her hand. Take a deep breath and try again, Rennie, Ms. Janiyah said. You can do this. Rennie cleared her throat and started again. My name is Rennie, and this is my best friend, Lance. He's a pit bull. Before we met Mrs. Crutch, I never heard of pit bulls. Lance was just Lance. The worst thing he ever did was bury my shoes. Now Mrs. Crutch says he's dangerous, but how does she know? She's never met him. Rennie stepped back into line, and Ms. Janiyah faced the audience again. That's just about it, except for two things. Some of you may have heard of our Sit for a Pit campaign. It's an idea the kids came up with to get people to sign our petition and learn about pit bulls. The petition is simple. It says, we do not support a law that would keep pit bulls out of our city. We believe each dog deserves to be judged based on its individual personality and behavior. I have the petitions right here, and I'm proud to say there are more than 2,000 signatures. Ms. Janiyah handed the folder with the signed petitions to Mayor Cummings. Ms. Janiyah turned to the City Council. The last thing I'd like to suggest is that Mrs. Crutch take some medicine for her emotional flu. What do you have in mind? The mayor asked with a smile. It was actually Rennie's idea, Ms. Janiyah said, so I'll let her tell you. Beside me, Rennie swallowed hard and screwed up her courage. I knew she was as scared of Mrs. Crutch as Mrs. Crutch was of me. Mrs. Crutch, I want you to meet Lance and shake his paw. Absolutely not, Mrs. Crutch said, turning red. That dog is filthy. He's not, Rennie said. We gave him a bath today. Oh, go on. What can it hurt? Someone called from the audience. Yes, what can it hurt? Said one of the council members. You can do it, Mom, Sheila Crutch yelled. She was sitting with her friends near the back of the room. What do you say, Dorothea? The mayor asked. The dog seems harmless enough. In the end, it was Rennie who found the courage to take the first baby step. First, she turned to me and firmly said, stay, holding the palm of her hand directly in front of my face as she'd been taught. Next, she took a deep breath and walked over to the City Council table. Hello, Mrs. Crutch, she said, holding out her hand. My name is Rennie Boehner. I don't believe we've met. Mrs. Crutch looked a little shocked, but after a second she shook Rennie's hand. How do you do, Rennie? She said. It's nice to meet you. I'd like to introduce you to my best friend, Lance, Rennie said. He's very friendly and knows how to shake. I'd rather not, if you don't mind, Mrs. Crutch said. I'm not fond of dogs. That's when Rennie did the bravest thing of all. She leaned across the table and whispered in Mrs. Crutch's ear, "It's okay to be scared. I was scared too, but you can do it. I know you can." Mrs. Crutch jerked her head back and stared at Rennie. Then she swallowed hard, got to her feet, and walked slowly around to the front of the table. Rennie took her hand and guided her over to where I was sitting. "Mrs. Crutch, I'd like you to meet my best friend, Lance. Lance, I'd like you to meet my new friend, Mrs. Crutch." I was sitting as still as I could so I wouldn't scare Mrs. Crutch, but I wagged my tail to show I was friendly. "See, he's happy to meet you," Rennie said. "He's wagging his tail." "Yes, yes, I see," gulped Mrs. Crutch. "Now you can shake his paw," Rennie said. "I don't think I can," said Mrs. Crutch. "It's okay. Let me show you," Rennie said. She bent down, held out her hand, and said, "Shake, Lance." I immediately put my paw in her hand, and she gave it a good hard shake. "Now you try." When Mrs. Crutch didn't move, Rennie gently took her hand and held it out to me. "Shake, Lance," she said. I put my paw on Mrs. Crutch's hand. She was so scared she was shaking. "Wow, wow, wow."
Wow, wow, wow.
I thought as I waited for her to shake. Gently, Rennie closed Mrs. Crutch's fingers around my paw and lifted her arm up and down. "See, you did it," Rennie said with a big smile. Behind us, the audience started to applaud and whistle.
Yahoo! Woo!
Mrs. Crutch released my paw, stood up, and gave everyone a weak smile. And that, my friends, is the story of how I became a super smart, stunningly handsome, extra special pit bull, and how Mrs. Crutch learned to take her medicine. Okay, what's an epilogue? Does anybody know what an epilogue is?
Ooh, what's an epilogue? You know?
I think
Epilogue.
I think it's like the end of a story, kind of like it's telling you that it's kind of
Yeah.
it's kind of like
Somebody else have, what's your idea?
it's telling if they bring you out of it. I think it's if they bring you out of a new book, then they have like a catalog to tell what we're
Like if they're going to have a new book?
Yeah.
Amy?
It's like a little part that's gonna happen in the next book.
She said it's what's going to happen in the next book. And someone else said,
An epilogue means the story
Anyone else
is
want to
finished.
try?
you're going to learn a new word. Yeah, learn a new word.
I think it's a new word for a word. Let me.
Yeah, it is it's a new
It
word.
is a new word. So when the story ends, the story is finished. But sometimes there's a little bit of extra information that the author wants you to know. Okay, so this is the little extra information I wanted you to know. Okay. Ready? Here we go.
Now you know
Epilogue.
what epilogue means. Extra information.
Extra information that isn't the story itself, but extra stuff you might want to know that happened after. I am happy to report that everyone on the City Council, including Mrs. Crutch, voted to allow pit bulls to stay in town. Thanks to all the hard work we did on Sit for a Pit, I became a kind of celebrity. That means a lot of people want to meet me and shake my paw. Being a celebrity is good because it gives me a chance to smile, wag my tail, and show everyone that pit bulls are good dogs. It also means that the people who use pit bulls for fighting are getting caught and punished more often. Like Ms. Janaya says, it's up to everyone to teach people to be kind and help animals who can't help themselves. Ms. Janaya is very wise, but I still think she's a dog in disguise. The best news of all is that I have my forever family and home. Mom forgave me for bearing Rennie's shoes and never talks about giving me away. I do my best not to get into trouble, but sometimes I just can't help it. The other day, I chased a skunk under the house, and a nasty creature sprayed me with its stink. Instead of being mad at the skunk, everyone yelled at me and made me sleep outside. When I complained to Mortimer, all he said was, "People are still peculiar, mon ami," and you smell very, very bad.
Okay,
That's the official end. Can you guys do me a favor? Do you know what a book review is? Anybody know what a book review is?
Who knows what a book review is? What's a book review? I know what's a book review.
that's a summary, but about the entire book.
That's a summary, but what's a book review? Alec?
It's where you can read the book, you can do a play about it, or you can dress up in costumes and do a movie.
No. What's a book review?
I'm hearing part of what a review is. Like a review means to go over, so you can include information about the story. But what's really important? What's most important of all in a book review? Is your
Like you talk about the book.
You talk about the book and you give what?
And information.
Give information about and what you.
Thought about the book.
There we go. What you.
There you go. So it's the most important thing about a book review is to give your opinion, and you should say why you feel the way you feel. So, for example, I think that Lead with the Heart is the most wonderful book I've ever read in my whole life.
Oh, you're the author.
Anyway.
That's easy for you to say. I want to know what they think. How many of you think it was a great book? Raise your hand.
But if you feel a book review, you say why. Okay, so what I'd love for have you guys do is do a book review
For your blog.
for your blogs, okay?
Oh, so our blog will be a review. Good idea.
Yeah, why not? It'll be great.
Now, Miss Jenna, we have a few people that brought some pictures that they wanted to share with you.
I would love to see the pictures. Other dogs?
Pictures. Derek, go ahead and you can pick one. Which one do you want to show? So go up so that she can see you.
Is this your dog?
Bottom.
Well, come to the camera. There you
Derek,
go.
is this your dog?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's your dog?
Yeah.
That is a beautiful dog. What's his name?
Harley.
Harley. That is one happy dog.
Yeah.
Can you see the ears are down
Yeah.
his laps? His eyes are happy and he's smiling.
Yeah.
Always like that?
Sometimes he's just laying down and being silly.
What a great dog.
He also rolls over and tries to be funny, and he has this ugly smile.
Oh, don't
Great.
tell him.
Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, I love that picture. Harley. Oh, is that a golden retriever?
Uh-huh.
Oh, what's her name?
Is that your dog? It looks like my dog Josie.
What is it a girl? It's a girl, right?
No, it's a boy.
Oh, I'm sorry. What's his name?
Oakley.
Oakley?
Oakley.
How did you choose that name?
We just did.
What's
Great
his personality like?
Kind of mellow.
Yeah, he looks pretty
Mellow.
mellow.
Yeah.
What a sweet boy. Oh, I want to meet Oakley.
And he's laying on his favorite chair.
Is that a dog bed or is that a chair?
That's a chair, and then that's a dog head.
And is he supposed to be on the chair?
He's on a chair, yeah.
Is he supposed to be on the chair?
Can I
Uh-huh.
see? Hey, boys and girls, I'll show you the picture in just a minute.
Let's go. I think we have to keep
Turn over,
moving.
Morgan.
Upside down.
Oh, a Labrador. Oh, a golden lab. Is that a girl or a boy?
How old is that dog?
I don't know.
He's an older guy, isn't he? He's like me.
What's his name?
Diesel?
Diesel.
Diesel.
Where do you guys get
Very
these
nice.
names? That's fantastic. Tell me about Diesel. What's his personality like?
He is white.
Yeah.
What's he like?
What's he like? What's his personality? Is he friendly? Is he playful? Is he quiet?
Is he sleepy?
He loves to jump up on people.
Yeah. That's a Labrador thing. Does he like to lick too?
Yeah.
Lick, lick, lick. Yeah, that's Labrador. He is beautiful. Thank you.
Pictures.
Can I show you more people?
Mrs. Yvonne has
Can I? I had to bring a picture.
Oh, good. What have you got?
Can you?
A little
Oh,
higher.
lift up a little higher.
That's this morning.
A little higher. Oh
Who
my.
is that? Is that a beagle?
It's a beagle, Coco. This is this morning when I was leaving for work. She was feeling sad.
Oh my.
Cute, I
Looks
know.
like she's about to cry.
Right. I love
just-
beagles. They're so smart.
I know they are. Thank you for letting me share.
Thank you.
I'll show you guys later.
Okay, we'll show you later.
She was sad this morning. She's an old lady like Miss Yvonne. She's old. Okay, show you're ready.
All right, voices out.
Anyone else have pictures?
Anybody else have a picture to share?
Anybody else have pictures? I think that's it for pictures, Miss Jenna.
Okay, just could one of you be our whiteboard person?
I will be.
Oh, man.
So how many of you guys know the song "Row, Row, Row Your Boat"? Okay, so
We need a video.
So how does it go? Can you sing it with me?
Well, one person. How does it go?
Oh.
Nice and loud.
Row, row.
Gently down the stream.
Right. Good. So now we're going to take that fantastic song and we're going to make it into a dog song, okay? Okay, so, Miss Yvonne?
Yeah.
So you guys, you're going to have to help her spell these words because I'm sure she doesn't know how to spell as well as you. So the first one we're going to do is sniff, sniff, sniff your way gently down the street. Okay, can you sing that with me? Sniff, sniff, sniff your way gently down the street. Merrily, 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 smells are such a treat. Merrily, 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 smells
Smells are such a treat.
Okay, that's one. How's Miss Yvonne doing?
We're on Merrily.
Not ready yet.
How many
Merrily, Merrily.
Oh, I got married.
Merrily, merrily, merrily.
Merrily, merrily, merrily. What's next?
What's next?
Oh. Smells are such a treat.
Smells are such a treat.
Okay, smelling such a treat.
Smells are such a treat.
Oh, smells.
Illy.
It is silly. I have a whole bunch of silly ones, and then we're going to sing them together, okay?
There's one more merrily.
There's 4 merrilies every time. So you're not going to have to rewrite the merrily, merrily, okay? You ready for the next one?
Yeah, there's more merrily.
Okay.
You ready for the next one?
You guys ready?
Okay, here we go. Chase, chase, chase the squirrels and every single cat.
What the heck?
Come on! Chase, chase, chase the squirrels and every single cat. Chase, chase squirrels and every single cat. Merrily, 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 that's why I'm not fat.
Chase the squirrels.
I have a question. I have a question. This is a tough one. In that last line, which are the 2 words that rhyme? Which are the 2 words that rhyme? Does anybody know the answer to that? Call on them.
Mary and Mary.
No, those repeat. Which are the two words that rhyme?
Rhyming ones.
The rhyming ones. The tough question.
What am I missing? Hold on, I'm missing something up here. What am I missing, guys?
Miss Jenna, is merrily the second time? Is it exactly the same?
Yes. Merrily,
Smell-
merrily is the same in every single one, so you don't have to write that every time.
And is it always smells are such a treat?
No, the last line. Okay, so chase the squirrels and every single cat.
Merrily.
Merrily.
That's why I'm not fat.
That's why I'm not.
I know.
So what are the two words that rhyme, you guys?
What are the two words that rhyme? Raise your hand. Jonathan, nice and loud. What are the two words that rhyme?
Cat and fat.
Cat and fat.
Oh.
Alright, nice and loud so Mrs. Alon can hear.
I have to be able to hear. And so,
Okay, are you up for one more?
we are.
Okay, you ready?
Yes.
Sit and stay. If you want lots of love, merrily. I love belly rubs.
Oh.
Sit and stay.
If you want lots of love, merrily. I love belly rubs.
Did you make this up?
Sit.
I did make it up. I have more, but you guys are gonna hate me.
No, that's enough. I think for
All right.
that.
So
They gotta.
Miss Jenna, what's after sit and stay?
if you want lots of love,
You want lots of love.
I love belly rubs. Okay. So you know what's so great about this song?
What?
Is that you can sing it in a round. What's a round?
Everybody know you should know this for music. What's around?
What's a what?
Round. Connor, what's around?
In like one, in like four.
Oh, boys and girls, I cannot hear Connor, and I'm sure that Miss Jenna can't either.
Like not breaks, like no breaks.
No break.
Just.
Everybody know what is around, Liam?
Sing it over and over and over again.
Okay, over and over. Does everybody sing it at the same time? So what makes it around?
Yeah. So people start at different times in a round, but the sounds come together in harmony. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I'll tell you what. Let's divide the room in half, okay?
But
One time through, all
let's hear
together,
them sing it through once.
and then break it into rounds.
Row
Yeah.
your boat first, Mike. Just go.
Okay. And then we'll break it into rounds after we sing it one time through.
Right. Good idea.
So we're just going to do row your boat, right?
No.
Yeah. Oh wait, no. We're gonna sing this one time through just to make sure they have the words, and then we'll break them into rounds.
Oh, okay. So we're going to do each of the three?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right, we're going to do
Yes,
sniff.
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. We're gonna do all three verses.
And sit, right?
Sniff, chase, and sit. Yes.
Which one are we doing first?
Let's just run through the whole thing one time through.
Okay.
Okay.
So we're going to do sniff first, then
Chase.
gaze, and then sit.
Yes.
All right, ready?
Guys ready?
1, 2, 3. Sniff, sniff, sniff. Away, down, down. Merrily. Sniff, such a treat. Chase, the squirrel.
Every single cat.
Merrily, wag. That's why, sorry. Sit and stay. With lots of love. Merrily. I love belly rubs. Okay.
We're ready for a round.
Give me some milk.
So, Ms.
Bye.
Betty, would you sing with group 1, and Ms. Brittany, would you sing with group 2?
We're gonna divide you right down here. Right down here. And is that well? Is that even? Let's do it right here. You guys and over this way. Oh, you went over this way. Go this way.
Guys,
And then you guys,
really helps.
you guys go on this side. You guys all go on this side. So you guys are on my side. You guys are on Brittany's side.
You don't call
Okay.
That's teaching us bad. We don't want to call her that name. That's not good. Now we're gonna start calling her that name.
Are we ready?
You guys ready? Who's
Okay, now I encourage you to get close together so you don't hear the other people singing, because it's really hard to remember your part.
You guys move over here because and you guys all kind of, no, right over here is fine. You guys stand up right behind all these guys. Kind of get in a huddle over here.
Yeah, huddle's a good word.
Okay. And you guys are going to watch me and sing with me. Okay, kind of huddle together. But then scoot back so they can see you in the camera. Push your chair back. Okay, guys, scoot back so they can see all of you. You guys move up so they can see all of you.
Yeah, back up a little bit. Maybe, do you have video on one of the iPads?
Where's the other group?
Do you want the other group?
We just don't see them, that's all.
Yeah. Can you see them or no?
We can't.
Okay, the other group come this way. Then sit over here. Over here then, Liam.
They're worried they're not going to be able to. There you are. There we go. That's good. That's good. That's perfect. Yeah. Okay, now listen, guys. This is important. Miss Yvonne's group is going to start first, and they'll sing. Gently down.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay. Go ahead and start.
Yvonne's group will start. They'll sing the first line all the way through. Then the second group will start. Okay? That makes sense to everybody?
Yeah. So you guys ready? Miss Yvonne's group? Okay, we're ready.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Sniff, sniff.
Sniff your way gently down the street. Sniff your way gently down the street.
Merely bells are such a treat. Cat. Merely, that's why I'm not that. If you want lots of love, merely, I love belly rubs.
Yay!
Well done! You guys did great! That was fantastic.
I don't know.
Okay, so all right, Lightning Girls, I cannot hear. Do they know about our upcoming performance?
We have not talked to them about it.
Well, I talked to mine briefly about it, but then we had Flag Day today, and then the Bellevue leader came to talk to Miss Frosch tonight.
Right.
Oh, great.
Yeah, and they're going to try to get it in the paper on Wednesday if possible. We'll keep you informed to invite the community for Friday.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Oh, wonderful.
So you're going to tell them, right?
Go ahead and tell them.
So everybody listen carefully because this is really important. Our class is going to do a play based on Lead with the Heart.
Wow.
And you're all going to have parts to play, and we're going to do the last chapter, and then we're going to invite people in the community, like the seniors and the parents and the other teachers and other students, okay?
Oh, I hope your dad can come. Maybe we're going to send invitations out first thing on Monday.
Everybody.
This is going to be.
And we're going to show everybody the quilt.
Erase the video.
I need voices off.
So on Monday we'll start working on the play, okay?
Your voices are off so that you can hear.
They're excited. Sorry.
Yeah, of course.
That's okay.
No, I want you to be excited.
They're very
Monday
excited.
we'll start working on the play, okay?
Absolutely.
I'm very excited. So I hope you guys have a great weekend.
Me too.
Now we gotta bow and say goodbye, right?
Okay, guys, get ready to say goodbye.
Sayonara.
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 You guys can't hear what she's saying, right?
Thanks.
Have a great weekend, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.